Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to wish you a happy Christmas Eve. And that doesn't mean you have to be a religion to believe in Christmas or anything like that. It just means the spirit of dropping the fighting and the contention and everything. You know, peace and harmony and love, it doesn't require a religion. It's the same for atheists or whatever kind of theist you might be, or, you know, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, you know, Zoroastrian. It doesn't really matter. You're human. We're all pure spirit in these incredible conscious costumes that we're wearing. And this is why the whole race thing is so stupid. Even though you need to respect everybody's background and individuality, but the whole race division thing was made up by rulers that wanted us to fight all the time. And the big secret in that is we don't really have to fight all the time. There's no reason for it. There's no good reason for it that's valid at all. We're supposed to be helping each other because this is a really unstable dimension that we're incarnated in right now. This they call it a physical world. You know, I'm sure you've heard of it. You look around, that's what it's called. And to be here is very challenging. There's a lot of people that are having a hard time in different ways, and you could help them. It's like in the movie Scrooged, which is really a good one to watch if you haven't seen it. Bill Murray and some other great people in that one. At the end of it, when he's met the three ghosts, you know, and he figures out that he might not have been using his life the way that he could have, and he gives this great speech. You should listen to that if you get a chance. It's amazing. It's just encouragement to help other people, and the best way to help them is change your consciousness. Drop all the contention, stop condemning everybody, forget about justice in the sense of wanting to punish people who have done bad things, because we've all done really stupid bad things. Every person I've ever met, certainly me in a million ways, and most of the other people I know. It doesn't matter, because underneath that stuff that you've been going through for your lessons in the lifetime, you're pure spirit. All of us are. It's incredible beauty. There isn't anything to fight about there. It's like there just isn't, you know. So, but every minute that you're still in the body before you go on to your next location, and this death thing is completely ridiculous. You don't die. You transition out of this body. I remember going through it, so I know you're not supposed to remember anything like that, but can't help it. I do, and I'm just sharing it with you. That's a little disorientation sometimes, and then getting used to a new form and a new environment, which is going to be very much affected by what you're doing while you're in this body in the physical world. So make it good. And I remember in the 60s when I was a university student for the first time, and we used to sit around late at night with other students and the professors who were just being normal people. You know, not like some of the craziness that's going on at universities now, hyping everybody up to hate each other. We weren't doing that, at least where I was. And we were talking about how could we get people to just be normal, stop having wars all over the world and hating each other and having division and having to think our group's better than their group, our religion is right and theirs is wrong. The people who have skin a certain color are better than the other color. Doesn't matter if it's white, black, brown, red, yellow, anything. Any kind of racism against white people, against black people, against brown, yellow, red, whatever, green, it's just stupid. Don't fall for it. Don't ever fall for it. Even if everybody around you is into it, just don't even do it. You know, be true to yourself. And this Christmas Eve, when I'm making this video, Christmas late afternoon, I guess it's like 4:30 or something here. And the president of the U.S., who I dare not name because the major social networks are trying to ban anything positive about anything he does, so that you'll think that he's a complete demon when he's really doing unbelievable stuff. I haven't seen this anti-war, not just belief, but action since, I mean, a long time, decades. And he's actually pulling troops out of where the U.S. should never have had troops in the beginning, Syria. That's incredible. And you know it's probably incredible because the whole news media is saying he's an idiot and incompetent and a fool, and don't go along with that. It's totally ridiculous. As usual, they're telling you the opposite of what's true. It's wonderful to get the troops out of the Middle East nonsense that the U.S. should never have gone into. And they're actually getting to come home, and it's Christmas. And half the troops in Afghanistan too, which is great. We don't need to be there overseeing the poppy heroin business or anything. That's not really in the Constitution, right? I mean, how dumb have we been to fall for this kind of stuff? And the media has been really supporting endless war, and now they're saying stuff like, well, it's really important for our national security that we keep being over there so we can kill the right people. This is really, it's not stupid. They know that they're telling you the malicious nonsense. So please don't fall for that. Don't think, well, I'm a progressive or I'm a Democrat and I have to, this is what I have to think. What? Since when? What are all these labels about? They're totally stupid. And if you're a Republican and you think you're supporting all these wars, and or a lot of the traitor Republicans around the U.S. president right now are trying to keep him in the wars, and the generals that are leaving, thank God, are going on public TV and implying that the president is insane because he wants peace. He said he wants peace. He was the only one in the debates that was in favor of peace during the 2016 election. And the media said, well, that's obviously the Russians are controlling everything. What? No, it's a candidate that said he didn't want war. Everybody should have been celebrating. And they should now, because he should have done this way earlier, but I guess he couldn't because he was surrounded by such traitors, mostly bad Republicans around him, and generals and things saying, well, for strategic purposes, you know, I'm a general, so we should have all this massive expense for military that just happens to support all these military corporations. Well, bring them home and put them where they're supposed to be, where the president has the obligation to protect the country's borders, and no one should get in through there illegally. That's like not rocket science, okay? Then let all the people who love America and want to contribute to it and apply for it and have shown their value, let them come in and help us. Not the people carrying foreign flags, spitting on America and, you know, burning the American flag and saying, no border, no wall, no USA at all. These people are traitors. They have no place in the country and they shouldn't be here. If they hate America that much, they should go where they don't hate that, whatever country they go to. But these are obvious things, you know, and the media is trying to make sure you never understand any of them. So please don't fall for it. You know, this is a time of peace and harmony and courage and bravery and love and support of everybody. And it's not racist to say that people who hate your country should not come in. That is not racist, okay? This is really dumb to think that it's not racist, it's not xenophobic, it's not anything phobic, it's common sense, which you're allowed to have. You don't have to throw it away because the media and the corrupt agencies say that you shouldn't have it anymore and that you should just worship authority. No, you shouldn't do that because the real authority is inside you. And if you're true to that, you don't have labels. You don't say, well, I'm a progressive, so we want no borders, no wall, no USA at all. That's basically not just the progressive label, that's a communist label. It's part of the Communist Manifesto, which is easy to read. It's a small book, and you can see what Marx and Engels were doing. And it involved total destruction, overthrowing governments by violence, killing lots of people. That's why, you know, communist countries are famous for wiping out massive numbers of their own people, just murdering them so they can have utopia, and then they don't have utopia. Everybody ends up starving and getting killed, you know, like the Soviets and the communist Chinese and the people under Pol Pot in Cambodia and all these other places. They were all doing that supposedly for utopia, and they killed, you know, hundreds of millions of people. And the same thing with religions who believe that you have to kill everybody who doesn't join your religion. I won't name it because I'll be banned for that right away. I'm sure you can probably figure it out. It starts with an I. And the people within that religion, who are great people, don't follow what's in the scriptures, because if they did, they'd be monsters. And they're intelligent, brave, to stand against their culture and say, no, this religion's wacko. I mean, to say that everybody who doesn't join you should be killed, there's some of that stuff in the Old Testament as well. That kind of a God is not God, okay? Sorry, I know this is blasphemy, but it's really late in the game. It's time to tell the truth. There is a real God. It's this wonderful, formless essence that we all came from, that ultimately we all are, and we've got to blend back into that and make the world would become heaven on earth if we do that. And it's the opposite of killing each other for religion, and whoever doesn't join you should be eliminated. This is what's in, parts of the Bible. It's in many of the other sacred scriptures. It's definitely all through the scripture that I'm referring to, of this group that starts with I. If you're born into that religion, be true to God and yourself. Don't worry about labels or what's written in a book. That's not the source. The source is living. It's inside you. It's everywhere. It's incredible. If you start to get in touch with that source, that spirit, that what people should think of as God, rather than this severe old man with a long white beard who's going to kill you if you don't love him enough. That's a different idea. That God's real, but it's a fourth dimensional negative being, and you don't have to be tied to that at all, unless you just don't have to, okay? Get in touch with the real spirit that's inside you and that is in everything. And once you do that, you'll, all around you, in nature and the other people that are around you, it's that being masquerading as them. That's how you can love everybody. It's by realizing who they really are. Even the bad guys are this beautiful spirit underneath. They're just suffering from incredible programming, and they need to be freed and get out of that. And you have the power to do that, not by arguing with them, not by a debate, not trying to force people to see that you're right and they're wrong. No, you work inside yourself. Change your vibration, change your energy, change your consciousness. Do what Michael Jackson said, work on the man in the mirror, and you will change others without saying a word. You'll be so powerful, which is how you really are now. Just drop this nonsense, and we don't need to fight and kill each other anymore. It's like Stephen Greer is talking about, the hope is for Earth to become at least a level 1 civilization. We're level 0 now. That's where we try to kill each other and commit planetary suicide. That's not brilliant. It doesn't matter what label you're fighting for, or that you have the right religion or the right ideology, communism or progressivism or whatever you want to call it. Drop all the labels. It takes a lot more courage. And you actually can do that. You're some kind of incredible being of pure beauty. This is a good time of year to remember it, and then don't forget it. When the rest of the year comes, it's like if you meditate in the morning, great. But when you get up from meditation, don't drop that. Carry that harmony into the rest of all day and all night, every day and every night, and watch what happens. All the things that you wanted to complain about are going to transform. So the US president at the moment needs support. Not because he's not making mistakes. There are real mistakes that he's still making that he needs support and education to improve. But none of the ones that the media said he's making are real. And he's giving us 3 Christmas gifts this season. One of them is bringing troops home from war like we've been hoping for since Vietnam and before. All these wars are fought for fraud, most of them. They're not mostly defensive. That does occasionally happen, but it's the rare exception. Most of these wars are for enriching, not the ones that the progressives call the rich people. Way above that. The trillionaires that are in control, who created the money system to enslave everybody. The president of the US, who I won't name, is recognizing that and say, look, I didn't just campaign on this. I'm going to do it. I know that the media and the corrupt government entities will attack me and try to kill me, but I'm going to do it. Here, come on home. That's incredible. Everybody who has any understanding of that should be celebrating incredibly. So that's one thing. Questioning the central bank, euphemistically called the Federal Reserve. It's not federal, it's private, mostly foreign-owned. It's a leech. It's intended to steal all the wealth of each country. In this country it does this. It does it in all the other major countries through their central bank. It provides nothing of value. It actually just steals most of the wealth of each country, and all are coordinated under BIS in Switzerland. That's what it's for. The last president that seriously questioned them was Kennedy. And part of the reason that Kennedy got assassinated was exactly that. He even issued an executive order that's still on the books that said he was going to go in the other direction and dispense with them completely. And that never happened because everybody else is controlled by blackmail and bribes, and they're not brave enough to do it, except the president that the media says is incompetent. What does that tell you? Anything? I'm just encouraging people to wake up. This is wonderful. So that's two gifts. The last one is saying, look, control the borders. Every country should control their borders. Nobody gets in unless they're willing to be a positive contributor and love the country and try to make it better, make it great, whatever country it is, every country in the world. And then with sovereignty, they all cooperate. And that's the model, not the criminal fraud of the UN. He's showing how to do it the right way. And now we have to educate him that, 5G is not a wonderful source of jobs and business. Internet of Things is part of Agenda 21, which is an agenda of planetary suicide. Most of the leaders don't even know about this, including, I think, the president, or if he does know, he knows he can't move against it fully yet in a strategic position. I don't know which one of those is the case. It's one of them. But these things need to be brought up. Chemical agriculture needs to be replaced with much more productive organic agriculture. Know that what the uneducated Republicans say is that, oh, all this environmental stuff is fraud. No, it's not fraud. The way it's being used is fraud in things like the Paris Climate Treaty or Paris Climate Conference, and the one that just ended in Poland that you'll see Alex Newman back on our show on this coming week, or first week in January, sorry. It's being used for a fraud, but the environmental issues are real. And we don't need toxic agriculture, we don't need toxic medicine, we don't need any of those things. They're real. We don't need dirty energy. So it's not about austerity, it's turning down your air conditioner because you're evil to have it on. That's total fraud. But using this dirty energy has not been necessary for at least 100 years. The other technologies are available, and they've been developed a long time ago. They're being hidden and suppressed with intimidation and murder. And by the way, just in case I ever say anything controversial and we get banned, check us out on Brighteon.com, which is a replacement for the big censoring media platforms, and stay in touch with where we are on LostArtsRadio.com. You check there whenever you get a chance, any day. And if you get serious about finding out what contribution you can really make to getting rid of the labels out of your own mind and awareness completely, and finding out how to connect to who you really are, finding out the hidden health information, because that really helps. If your body's bothering you and you're experiencing this thing they call aging, or degenerative disease, or susceptibility to infectious disease, all this stuff, that's all unnecessary. It could be wiped out if you understand the real information. That's why that information is banned, and you're not allowed to talk about real health information. So we started a private platform. That's what Planetary Healing Club is. It is not for everybody, because if you're not willing to work on yourself, it's a waste of your time to even go there. But if you're ready to do that, and it's demanding, but it's a different kind of work, it's totally relaxed with focus. It's not like almost any other work that I'm aware of. If you learn the real ways to fix your physical body, get back the energy level that you're supposed to have, and then use that as a platform to start doing your real work in the consciousness arena, that's so powerful. The only way I can kind of describe it is like the opposite of a cell tower. The cell tower is designed to try to mind control and give everybody cancer and all this bad stuff. It's not a scientific oversight. That's what it's for. That's what the 5G is for. It has potential to kill populations. Well, they're not the only transmitters, transceivers of frequencies. Not all frequencies are evil. You have the incredible power to transmit not some frequency you try to make up by your own effort, but the one that is flowing through you now, that's keeping you alive in this body. You can let that out and have this massive healing effect that is not limited to distance, because doesn't follow conventional physics. Fixing your physical health and energy is a stepping off place for getting into that part. And I think we need to do that, like right now would be good because of what's going on in the world. So yeah, what the president is doing is a wonderful holiday gift for the world right now. But we don't just sit by and say, well, good job, President, now do the next thing, you know. That's not the approach to get the most out of this. You have incredible potential that's unlimited in yourself. You've got to dump all the labels, forget about fighting with everybody, forget about condemning people who you think are wrong. They're all programmed. They're victims of programming. If you want to help them get out of that, so the bad people convert to good people, which they really are anyway, underneath, even the worst ones, do it by resonance. That's much more powerful, and it's within you. You want to get into the details and actually a supportive environment of doing it, check out planetaryhealingclub.com. But if you want to do it on your own, great. You've got everything that you need inside you. And I would suggest you start using it. And there's so many encouraging things right now. And the one to start working on things is actually you. You're the person that the rest of the world is waiting for. Has power to change anything without even saying it. So, Merry Christmas, and hope you have a great time during this season with whatever you're celebrating or doing, or regardless of religion. I don't care about that. Getting in touch with that spirit that could transform this planet, life on this planet. And I suggest that we do it now and then keep doing it. Don't ever stop. And let's see what happens. And if you decide to join us in the club meeting, I'll see you there live every Saturday. Okay? Have a great night. And I like to say Merry Christmas no matter what religion or non-religion you might be, because we're not supposed to ever say it. If you notice, it's getting, it's part of the incorrect speech. So Merry Christmas. I'm not Christian or religious either, but I'm going to say it as long as they say you can't say it. And I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being on the physical dimension on this planet at this time. You're one of the potential saving graces to the world, and incredible beauty. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.